And we are live with the first game of the day of the European Challengers Cup, brought to you by Tier Monster and hi-rez Studios. I am Soza, joined here by Shadowboy. Shadowboy, how are you doing on this wonderful Sunday morning?
Oh, it feels like a beautiful Sunday morning to me. We got Losing Road versus GreenLabel for the first matchup.
Yeah, and already bans coming out. Sun Wukong, of course, going to be the first thing banned out by Losing Road. Meanwhile, Ao Kwong, the response ban from GreenLabel with Circuit. And the final, but not unexpected ban of Bellona coming through from GreenLabel.
You know, I don't think that Bellona is necessarily a bad band here. She's still very strong. She hasn't necessarily been as favored by a lot of teams in the recent couple of weeks, but she's still a powerful character. However, an interesting person to see nowadays is Chaac. Now, he does suffer from the fact that he's kind of a kiteable character when it comes to team fights and other instances like that. But if he's not really the main CC user for your team, if he's not the person who's setting up kills or peeling or doing anything like that, you just allow him to be the damage dealer, he can really put a lot of hurt on the back line of GreenLabel.
You definitely can too, and not to mention, like I said, the kiting can be an issue for a Chaac, but that was one of the changes addressed in one of the more recent patches where Chaac does now have quite a hefty slow attached to his rain dance, so teams do have to watch out for that as Chaac. It's going to be hard to escape from once he brings an AoE. I think it's a 35% slow at max rank, especially when he tosses it out on his axe as well. So Chaac's going to have some very nice AoE slow potential if you want to abuse on the side of Losing Road. Like I said, not going to be the main form of CC for his team, and as the team comp goes, he's definitely not that, but he's definitely going to work pretty powerfully as a little bit of a soft CC target.
Yeah, I mean, of course, having the silence coming out of his ultimate is going to be very helpful if he gets off a good ultimate. However, I still like GreenLabel a lot. They've got a lot of tools on their team to actually have a really strong teamfight presence. So, of course, you've got Kraken. Of course, you've got Athena with her taunt. But you also still have a lot of damage and harass. It's a really forward-focused team. Osiris is going to come in. He's going to distract the backline pretty heavily, take up whatever CC that Losing Road can offer their own backline, including maybe even Janus's portal, the special delivery from Mercury, and even a Khepri stun too. So they're going to have to put a lot of focus on preventing Osiris as well as Awilix from destroying the backline. Meanwhile, Freya and Poseidon are going to have a lot of free time, really.
Yeah, and especially when you're adding the Athena as well. She's going to have so many AoE combos here. Especially consider the fact you have Freya and Poseidon. Between Valkyrie's Discretion and a Kraken if you want to use it, or even just firing off the AoE gumballs from Freya's auto attacks, you're going to have a massive team fight threat to deal with on the side of Losing Road. But at the same time, Losing Road have gods that can deal with this in a team fight is the thing as well. So I think this would be a very, very back and forth kind of team fight versus team fight comp battle. And like I said, whenever you see two teams that do something similar in their style, it gets very brutal very fast.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. Let this timer get us all ready. You guys stay tuned. We'll be getting to the first match here in just a moment. Challenger Series EU. My name's Shadowboy, joined today by Soza. Stay tuned.
And we are live into the action featuring Losing Road facing off against GreenLabel. Both teams moving down the map and getting ready for the action. And this one should be very, very action-packed, as if anything holds true from past, EU tends to be a very, very aggressive region.
Yeah, I think EU is a bit more team-oriented in the early game. They want to try and make group plays as early as possible, just to try and get that global-ish gold and experience to all their team members, and try to win pretty much overall. But Blink on Khepri already, which indicates that they might go for some kind of kill opportunity, and there it is. That's going to be exactly what we talked about. All the CC used in the world. Athena, however, is going to be the first blood in favor of the members of Losing Road. GreenLabel not feeling too happy about that one.
Yeah, GreenLabel definitely in for a bit of a rough patch here. First blood being taken away onto the support here. Not just that, going over to an AD carry as well, and that's going to be an early Transcendence coming down for Kespainify right now, since he was the one to secure that first kill, and is rocking a solid 300 gold lead, even over his own teammates.
So now that they've seen the first blood, it looks like they're just going to go for the mid-camp start with the Janus, and a little interesting to see that, actually. I was kind of half expecting them to go for still the red normal start, but this is still very good for them. Are they going to go? They're going to go for another kill. They're going to go for another kill.
He's He's gonna walk out, get caught by a quick grab from Khepri, right into a huge choke of burst, actually unstable vortex, and Kespainify picks up a second kill to his name right now. 2.1 thousand gold, and that's the one reason you want to go for the start, Shadow Boy. If you get a nice aggressive lead up the back, you can translate that into a second or third kill, or even a quick invade if you do a mid-camp start. That's the whole thing you want to go for if you do those.
So I don't know if Awilix wants to try and aggress here, just because that's a Janus with 2 kills already off the bat, but he's not hurting as much as he could yet. He hasn't had a chance to actually back and spend some of this gold he's got in his pocket, but still, this is a very desperate looking situation for GreenLabel. I mean, they've given up 2 kills. The Poseidon is still only level 1. He lost the red buff, so now he doesn't even have that going for him. There's a lot of things they have to do just to catch up.
And they've got a 1k differential here between both teams in both XP and gold, and that is not somewhere you want to be at less than a minute into the game. Now only about a minute and 20 into it, and Losing Road, they've got a solid leg to stand on here. So Losing Road, they don't have to worry too much. They can play the game slow, steady, and burn it out. Whereas GreenLabel, they've got to make something happen here, and it looks like Losing Road, they don't want to wait this out. They're going for another fight here as Hestrix. He's right around the corner. GreenLabel, well, LJB walking, this one's gonna dash away from the grab by Merc, but not the grab from Fusion right there. Fusion never going to land a root despite being banished away. Kespainify firing shots across the map, but, well, JB going to be safe and sound for now, as NB getting a great banish to save his life.
Mercury making his way back over towards the middle lane. It appears as though he might try to go for the Sonic Boom kill onto Poseidon. If they chain their CC, they could get something, but it looks like the pressure is still being kept over in the dual lane as well. So all around the map, Losing Road is not showing any signs of losing this game. They've been pretty much in the faces of GreenLabel this whole time. Even over in the solo lane, it doesn't look like Osiris is having a good time. So really interested to see how they're going to build it, because that's going to give me a lot more information about how they want to proceed into the middle game and how aggressive they want to try and be.
Assuming what they're doing in the mid lane as well is what's going to ring true for the rest of the game. They're just going to get aggressive constantly. KB caught out pretty hard right there. He's running on fumes right now. We could see an around the corner snipe come out if FaraKrik is feeling feisty here, but he's going to instead opt to save it for a later rotation rather than trying to worry about getting an early game kill off of that. No need to go for something a little bit over the top here, as another banish will connect to save a life from Fusion here, but NB taking so much chunk damage out of this one. The ultimate did come through from Janus, but through space and time not connecting onto its target. However, they could still find somebody else. Hestrix taking down TZ right there in the mid lane. And after a good start for Losing Road, they're going to find another one in the dual lane as well. NB caught off so hard right there. The root from Khepri will land, but Kespainify, he's not going to find his way through. Got a chance of the ultimate, and he will find it. NB gets caught out and rocked out by Kespainify right there as Losing Road. They've got 5-0 right now. The gold lead mounting ever higher, and Dire Straits looks to be where the boat for GreenLabel is traveling.
So I think that right now, GreenLabel is suffering from a pretty emotional loss right now. Not necessarily so much of a actual, we're not mechanically good enough. They've been getting out-rotated a couple times, and they did get, you know, a couple of sneaky kills onto these guys, but all around, I don't think that it's been a situation where they're just significantly better than the other team, mechanically speaking. So I do see there is opportunity for the members of GreenLabel to come back, but they have to get themselves into a situation where they're overloading one side of the map. Janus is going to make that really hard for them to actually catch the other team off guard. Like, Losing Road has a lot of rotatability, especially with Sonic Boom, World Weaver, and Through Space and Time, but there is still a chance for GreenLabel to make a turnaround play.
Here's the big problem. Where do you find the kill potential on Losing Road right here? Almost all the lanes on the side of Losing Road have some kind of way to get away from this fight as well. Another fight breaking out in the jungle, actually, as it looks like Losing Road started this one up hard and strong here. FaraKrik going to get the first kill onto KB of this fight. Slow coming down onto JB right there, but a great Kraken going to take Hestrix incredibly low. He's going to go for the fight, but no, the Khepri ultra going to keep him ticking on as FaraKrik gets a double kill this time around, and Losing Road still not taking any losses here as GreenLabel going to lose parts of their jungle now.
So this, I want to go back to the point you were making about where do you find your kill opportunity, and that's a good question, because now you have to also consider, as hard as it is to kill somebody, you have to now also take into consideration, alright, well, Khepri is going to make it a little bit more difficult because he's going to just use his ultimate, and essentially that's a free revival. But if I had to say, you got to make a play happen on the Mercury, and hold on here, Kespainify is actually able to get the World Weaver kill, and Awilix actually forced away from her speed buff. So It's looking like, even though I do say that the best opportunity you have is going to be on the jungler, Mercury, just to try and slow him down from reaching that snowball point, it doesn't look like the members of GreenLabel wants to try and go for it. They are getting a little bit bullied here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's really hard to actually find a way to get into Hestrix right there. This is a textbook snowball coming out of losing road here. They have the advantage, and they're doing the best to protect it and make sure there's no way they lose it. Hestrix getting in the faces of GreenLabel right here, but doing it in a way that he knows he can get away from situations. He knows he's got backup right around the corner no matter where he goes, and losing road acting as a team in these fights. And unfortunately for GreenLabel, this is all due to the fact that losing road got a major advantage right off the bat, got 2 early kills onto an AD carry who's going to be stacking up the Transcendence very, very quickly. And unfortunately, the way snowballs work, especially in teams that know how to play them out properly, the only way you can really pull back from one is getting really proactive, really fast, or ending up making it to that mythical late game point.
I think one of the biggest issues they had has to be the fact that they gave up Khepri. I mean, the same effect could have been done with, say, a Sobek Ymir Blink combination. But I think that with Khepri, it's just worse.
He solidifies like snowballs way too hard.
Yeah, it's worse just because now you have to consider the fact that, oh wait, now on top of the fact that you're difficult to actually, get around, there's still the fact that, or avoid getting, initiated on, there's still the fact that you can revive anyone we try to burst damage. So it's kind of like, ugh.
And he just makes it so much more difficult to actually find that kill pressure on the duo lane. Not to mention, the solo lane already plays are not going to be able to find that much kill pressure outside of some major intervention here, but this time, they found the right place to go. Duo lane, a big catch here. Awilix finding the flip out of Kespainify right here. They're going to get a sure thing here, but it looks like the rest of losing road. A great ultimate from Khepri will save Kespainify's life right there as FaraKrik picks up the kill. And what looked to be the play that GreenLabel needed turns completely sour right there as losing road actually get Kespainify out of a bad situation from a great ultimate out of Janus, and that is still one of the big things GreenLabel has to deal with here.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about it. Khepri is going to make it really difficult for you to get a play happening, but over the solo lane, a play did happen. Mercury able to find the kill onto Osiris. Yet again, not too much assistance needed from Chaac, though. He's actually been doing a really good job of bullying out that lane. But, we just talked about it. Khepri is making the lives of all these guys really difficult, and that's only going to continue.
It's only going to get worse, and it's only going to get even harder for GreenLabel here. They've fallen quite far behind for the 8-minute mark. Someplace you never really want to end up being. A 10,000 experience differential here, on top of a 7,000 gold differential as well. Honestly, GreenLabel are just suffering from a textbook snowball, like we said earlier.
So over in the duo lane, it looks like we're going to see another death happen as Freya is just not able to find her point. Sonic Boom into a couple of auto attacks. Hestrix able to find the kill.
Well, right now, realistically, let's talk about something that GreenLabel might be able to do here. As we talked about how losing road to play this, we talked a little bit about the win conditions they might want to look for, but where can you start trying to find picks here as another kill goes on the Hestrix? And I think this might be a foregone conclusion at this point, but if you still think they have a chance here, how do they find this chance? They have to make it happen on their own at this point, and they have to wait for mistakes from losing road as well.
I think that their only real shot of getting back into this game starts off with the Freya. Freya is your big explosive in-game, but even then you have to kind of neutralize that out because there's a Mercury on the side, and you want to talk about someone who can compete with the burst damage. You can see that fight happening already right here. Awilix comes in to try to make it happen. Valkyrie's discretion used. Portal is going to be the saving grace for Mercury, and now an unstable vortex or through space and time is used to try and set up a kill, but unfortunately not going to land. So the rest of the members of Losing Road just going to back off.
Yeah, and what kind of mistakes do you think Losing Road could make that GreenLabel might be able to take advantage of to actually find some kind of way back in this game? As at this point, whenever there's a 9,000, 10,000 gold differential, even experience as well, you're almost going to be completely reliant on the enemy team to mess things up, and for you to be able to play it perfectly and take advantage of it.
The only mistakes I can see Losing Road doing to honestly really mess up their chance of winning is a Fire Giant fight here soon that ends really poorly for them. So they start the Fire Giant, they get initiated on, beautiful textbook Poseidon Kraken into some feather stuff and some other nonsense coming out from GreenLabel, and then of course at that point you can start to warrant a comeback potential, because that Fire Giant is going to make up for the gold. That Fire Giant is also going to give them time to take objectives to actually hard make up for the gold. So it's a large win for them if they can pull it off, but unfortunately I don't think that's going to happen. I can't see a conversation we're going to have here soon where Losing Road actually tries to go for a Fire Giant right now, just because if you're winning already without, you know, trying to secure this big objective, and you can take smaller objectives that are way safer, still give you a good return, why is it even a question? But here it comes. There's going to be a huge bomb coming out from Neith to set up 2 kills, and now Chaac comes in to clean up on the Freya, who's up in the air, coming down, dead. Sonic Boom used. There's still going to be a couple more kills going over to Losing Road, as they seem to be taking the winning road.
Yeah, soft deicide right there. This is going to be the spot where they probably will go for the Fire Giant, and unfortunately, GreenLabel's dreams are disappearing quite rapidly here, but if there are any fans of GreenLabel out there, you need to start preparing for this throw pit action here, as, well, TZ, he's waiting around the corner, no Kraken, so a steal will be very, very difficult here in Losing Road. They know exactly where he is here, so he's revealed himself. This Kraken, it's not available just yet, and the Fire Giant dying very quickly. They've got some big rotations coming through as well, but the burst damage would be too much from GreenLabel right there. Losing Road will secure the Fire Giant here as expected, and now the rest of GreenLabel, they're marching into what could be a death march right here. TZ, he's caught out by a Chaac, slowed up quite nicely here, but they're trapped in the middle of a tight corner on the side of Losing Road here. It doesn't really matter too much though, as now NB, he's on the backside trying to deal with Hestrix there, but Hestrix, he gets locked up and locks down NB right there for a single quick kill, as another dropped member going to be going over in the way, as KB does end up falling. Now Yunerity dashing on through for YZ right there. A quick axe toss going to secure that one. JB, last man standing, as Seth, unfortunately, on the wrong side of the map, wrong side of the fight. He's going to be dying over Stolen. Might be able to secure Kespainify right there. Kespainify dropping lower and lower. Athena coming in for the death damage, but now it's not going to be enough, as we already see the backflip coming through from Kespainify. He's going to be safe and sound in the Losing Road. Will be looking towards his tower. Fire Giant ticking on. The siege should be real here, but Hestrix might have overstayed his welcome. This could be the guaranteed kill they want, and there we go. GreenLabel finally on the board. They got the goal they need. You got the kill, you're good. You can lose happily now, or you can make the comeback. One option seems more likely, though.
Yeah, I don't see the comeback happening here, if I'm going to be completely honest. They did take the Fire Giant off of Mercury, which is a huge win for them, but you can see already...
Still 4 strong.
Freya got quickly reminded, hey, you're still behind. You got to kill, you're still behind. However, Neith might fall here, and actually will. Kraken set up a nice bit of damage onto Janus as well as Neith. Osiris in the area, but he's not going to be able to save his wonderful Poseidon, who made the highlight play of the game, getting a 2-man Kraken. And it looks like this is just going to be a disengage on both parties unless Chaac wants to keep fighting. He doesn't have much mana to work with, though.
And Yunerity is staying incredibly aggressive here, buying a bit of retreat time for FaraKrik right there. So all in all, I can kind of go for the aggression here that Yunerity is just pushing out. It's very, very hard to kill a Chaac that's ahead. Much like trying to kill a Hercules that gets ahead, it's just not going to happen, unfortunately, unless you have so much coordinated burst damage on him.
Meanwhile, the infamous split push Janus is doing work over into the right side of the map, going to secure a little bit more objective gold for his team, and then back off. He might actually elect to take this speed buff too. He's feeling pretty confident, and I don't see anyone actually stopping him. He even uses a portal, so that's really interesting. But it looks like Athena is going to come and taunt. He takes the speed, and 2 shots
there's
aside.
Just way too much damage instead of Losing Road now, especially now that Hestrix is back. Full health, full mana. FaraKrik, he's in a similar position here, a little bit lower on health, sitting about half, mind you, but Hestrix, he doesn't really care. He's going to crit through your life bars now, as he does have that rage online, and there's no stopping the Mercury crits at this point. Even Fusion going 1 versus 2 and just 100-0ing KB right there. Losing Road 29-2 right here. Very unfortunate,
well,
but
there you go.
This is a sure thing right here. The deicide comes on through. We're just watching the final few screws being put into GreenLabel's coffin right now as the surrender vote comes on through. And at this point, I think it's a reasonable one to go for.
I think it's more than just a reasonable one to go on. I think this is one of the surrender votes that you kind of had to say, all right, we came out, we did, you know, we did our thing, but
snowball.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but it happened.
You know, and hey, everybody gets bodied once. Everyone has their one. So, hey, right now, GreenLabel, this is their one, as they are about to lose the last one tower they have in the game. And the Phoenix possibly going to go over the left side of the map too.
Yeah, it's a very likely thing to lose here as Kespainify raining in the damage onto a GreenLabel NB. He's sticking around a little too much there, taking quite a bit of poke from Kespainify right there. A huge chunk of damage taken from Unerity's axe toss right there. 300 on top, it seems, as he goes straight into the silence. Gonna bring down the rain and bring down the hammer as Yunerity chasing through the Titan. He's got the revive on him right there. He should be good to go, but it's gonna wear off a little too early. Yunerity needs to not end up falling to the damage right there. He's going to blink on back to his axe toss right there. Should be fine and dandy as he has another heal coming on through as well. But losing road, they're sitting in the base of GreenLabel right here. They're about to take the second Phoenix of the game. They have fire minions soon to join the party, walking up that left-hand lane. And this should be a guaranteed thing. There's a huge talk coming through right into a Kraken. But everybody evacuates as soon as it happens. And now Fusion, last one they have any kind of good shot there. Kespainify sticking around a little too much here, but he leads it right into a huge route as they've been baited into a bit of a rough spot here. Yunerity, he's still ticking. He could die though with the heal. It's bringing up so much life for him. They're trying to get that last bit of damage here. He's stuck on the shield wall. It doesn't do enough though. One more on. Nowhere near enough though as Yunerity still breathing in this fight. He's still ticking on, but 50 HP will be more than enough as it's not quite zero. A quick catch from Khepri will lead into the final shot, and unfortunately, GreenLabel going to be facing down the losing road this time as a Titan. There's no real way they can save this one. The respawn timers, unless KB can make a miracle play, I think this is going to be a good game.
Miracle play? He has to survive.
Yeah, you gotta survive the burst, and I don't think a miracle play happens in that game. Good game to losing road. GreenLabel unfortunately going to get completely snowballed on in game 1 of the Challengers Cup.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but I mean it happens. I mean, you know, that was a good strategy. Like at the end of the day, you cannot fault losing road for coming out with an excellent strategy. I really like the fact that they knew, all right, we have Khepri, we have somebody who's really good at displacement, so let's take advantage of that. So they went ahead, they looked for the first person they can grab, found Athena first when she was warding, and then turned right back around and said, okay, now that we've gotten that good play, why don't we transition that into another good play by sneaking at the mid laner after he comes back from the red buff, because no mid laner expects it. No mid laner is just sitting here going, you know what, I feel like there's going to be a gank coming in on me in the nearby future. No, they always end up just assuming they're good to go, and they aren't. So he ended up dying, and so that was 2 kills easily going over to losing road. They turned around, converted that into more kills, more objectives, more aggression, and I think that all around it was a just good strategy by losing road.
Not to mention, unfortunately, sometimes you do draw the short end of the seeding straw right there, being the 30th seeded team facing off against seed number 3 of the EU Challengers Cup. So, well, despite that, sometimes you do draw that short end of the stick. Otherwise, hopefully we'll see them back next week in Challengers Cup, but we have more games to get to, so we'll be right back with the EU Challengers Cup brought to you by Tier Monster and hi-rez Studios. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a few minutes.